And we are not going to see temperatures flirting with 40 probably for another week or two after today. So soak in the mild clouds. I know it's a little chilly outside. Generally, though, staying dry today. Nothing showing up on FOX4 radar. We're at 40 in Paola, 39 in Lee Summit, 37 degrees up towards Excelsior Springs. This is kind of the preliminary cold front, and it's going to move through tonight. It's going to set the stage for colder air for this weekend and set the stage for our weekend winter storm. Right now, there's a low pressure in Iowa squeezing out some snow showers, maybe a few flurries in northern Missouri right along the state line. Not a big deal, though, and I don't think we see any precip here in Kansas City as this cold front or low pressure kind of track through the area. We'll stay cloudy, though. Temperatures in the low 40s for a high today, about 43 degrees. That's actually a few degrees above normal for early January. There we go, though. The front comes through and tomorrow's 10 degrees colder, a high of only around freezing. Then we're in the 20s Saturday and Sunday, teens by Monday. So as the colder air is moving in, that sets the stage for any storms that come through to create winter weather. And that's going to be our next big change here. Still a lot of questions about this because the storm that's going to impact us this weekend is still out in the Pacific Ocean. It's over 2,500 miles away, and it doesn't have any upper air data. We're not getting weather balloons into this. We're not going to get weather balloons into this storm system until it reaches California tomorrow. So that's why we're going to gain clarity on Friday and Saturday to our forecast. Here's what we know so far, though, for the weekend winter storm. It's going to start around 4 p.m. Saturday. So I'm kind of saying sunset Saturday. You might just want to get home. Precip is going to last through Saturday night and through the day Sunday, and it doesn't end until Sunday night. Travel impacts are likely. Sunday and Monday going to be very messy on the roadways, and the ice is going to impact how much snow we get. You may be seeing these absurd snow numbers, maybe on your weather app or at other sources, but it's not factoring in the ice and sleet that is going to fall with this. So the more ice we get, especially south, lowers the snow amounts. There's going to be more snow up north with maybe a little bit less ice. So here's how it looks right now. We're going to stay mostly dry during the day Saturday. Here's 4 o'clock, though. That's kind of when the precip starts. So we have snow up here. This purple zone is the ice zone, okay? Freezing rain and sleet. And we're cold enough to where we don't see any rain here for the Kansas City region. As we head into Saturday night, we start to see the freezing rain and ice continue. So the question is, when do we change from ice to snow? That's going to happen early Sunday morning. So about half of the storm is going to be ice Saturday night, and then during the day Sunday, the rest of the snow that falls on top of that ice, that's what we're trying to figure out exactly how much is going to fall. So the question of the forecast is when we switch from the freezing rain and sleet, which is caused by a warm layer in the middle of the atmosphere, and we get rid of the warm layer and transition to all snow. That's the question. How quickly does that nose of warm air disappear? And it's going to happen quicker north of Kansas City and slower to the south. So here's how the timeline kind of looks. We're looking at sleet and ice through Sunday morning. There's going to be a changeover around sunrise Sunday to all snow, and then high winds will create blowing snow during the day on Sunday. So again, as we've been saying, the highest snow is likely north of Kansas City, ice transitioning to snow for most of the metro, and mostly ice further to the south. So here in the Kansas City metro, the most likely scenario is going to be 4 to 8 inches of snow on top of the ice. At most, we could get a foot and a couple of jackpots way north. I'm talking 36 Highway, Chillicothe, St. Joe. And on the south side, we get at least 2 inches on top of ice further south of the Kansas City metro. So 4 to 8 inches is our current thinking here, and that could still shift if we get more ice or less ice Saturday night. So that's the big question. Here's the long ranger. Notice behind the storm next week, very cold. Highs in the teens, lows near 0 or even below 0. So once all this falls, it's not going anywhere.
I was going to say it's probably going to freeze on the roads, right?
Yeah, and it's going to be the problem because we get a layer of ice and then put snow on top of it. So the plows can get the snow, but the plows cannot get rid of a layer of ice if that forms.
Ooh, a lot happening. All right, Jacob, thank you.
Yeah, we'll be tracking it.